This video is sponsored by our friends at Kamikoto. Kamikoto taps into more than 800 years of traditional techniques from Japan to craft incredibly sharp, single bevel knives. These beautiful knives are made from the finest Japanese steel, and they've elevated my cooking game significantly. Each knife comes in a beautiful, heavy-duty ashwood box. They also make for an incredible gift. Each Kamikoto knife goes through a rigorous 19-step process that takes several years from start to finish to complete. Each knife is individually inspected, and Kamikoto is so confident about their knives that each one comes with a lifetime guarantee. These knives are incredible, and you don't have to take my word for it. They have been used by Michelin star chefs all over the world, and if you don't love them, you will get a full refund. Right now, Kamikoto is having their biggest sale of the year. Go to kamikoto.com/Chael. That's going to save $50 off your entire purchase price, or just click the link below. Use the promo code Chael and you will save $50 today. The kids on the underground, boy, it didn't take them long. The kids on the underground have a thread, a heavily supported thread. Alex Pereira is the worst middleweight champion of all time. That's the claim. Now you need supporting evidence. The evidence is he's the champion of the world, and Bo Nickel could beat him, and Bo Nickel has never even fought in the UFC before. That's the statement. There it is. Boom. It would appear, if you were good at wrestling, that you could take him down. It would appear that. Now, we haven't seen that. Like, we don't actually have evidence of that. We saw Pereira on bottom after a scramble that was a takedown attempt initiated by him. Izzy flipped his hips, came out on top. There did it appear, at least within that sequence, to be a submission threat or a reversal threat. That specific sequence was very workmanlike. Turn over, protect yourself, get up to your feet, turn and face him. I agree, that is what we saw. How, based on that, do we come to the conclusion that he is the worst champion ever? How, based on that, do we come to the conclusion that a very good wrestler would go out there and defeat him? How do we dismiss it? How are we so sure? Seems like a very bold statement, even if factual, but can we back it up from there? If you believe that you're a really good wrestler, or you believe that you have a really good wrestler and you're going to send him out, regardless of what you might believe of Pereira's wrestling and or groundwork, regardless of that, let me just take other things at random from Pereira's career. Do you and or the person you know, are you sure that they have what it takes to lose 53 pounds and beat the scale the day before? I probably largely just eliminated your entire field. You, if you're one that thinks you could do it, or whoever your really tough guy you know is. I probably just eliminated, but maybe not. Maybe yes. Yes, they've got the mental and the physical toughness. They can lose 53 pounds. Okay, great. Do you believe that they could walk into a main event and deal with those pressures? Do you believe that they could stand opposite the most dangerous man in the world, whose skill set is not about extending your arm or cutting off blood flow in form of oxygen? His skill set is to knock you unconscious. Do you and or your friend have what it takes to go and stand opposite him? All right, so you found, so you know somebody that can lose the 53 pounds, and you know somebody that can deal with the pressures. Okay. Do you and or this person that you know, are you confident that they have the work ethic and the wherewithal to be able to go out in unarmed combat? Anything goes. Just don't bring a weapon, anything. And have the energy to go for 22 minutes. Hard. Live. In front of the world after a 53-pound weight cut. Because these are all things that go into it. Mr. He's not any good. Mr. He could be taken down and controlled. I'm okay with that, but let's just look at a few other things. Do you and or the person that you're speaking of believe at random You can choose from the absolute worst of the deck at random. We will take all of the signed middleweights under the Ultimate Fighting Championship. We're going to grab 3 of them, and your friend's going to have to beat those 3 just to be given the opportunity to lose the 53 pounds, to walk out in front of the world and show that he's got the conditioning, the grit, and the toughness to go 22 minutes. Before we get to that, can he beat 3 guys under the roster? Won't even say who they are. It's just 3. Signed, established fighters, yes or no? And you start to see where this starts to be a little bit different than what your eyes showed you. Starts to be, well, it's not just a matter of take the guy down. It's not just a matter of control him. If my guy can't put him away and can't find a finish, 5 minutes later, they're going to bring us back up to our feet and reset this. And my guy's going to have to go and do it again. So it's not a matter of you and or yourself seeing a grappling deficit and believing that you can take him down and or keep him there. You've got to be able to take him down and or keep him there 5 times in one evening after cutting 53 pounds, having all of the pressures, having the baddest dude in the world standing across from you with the entire world watching. And before you ever got there, you took 3 guys signed to the Ultimate Fighting Championship and you beat them. I mean, there's really is a lot that goes into this. Before your lying eyes tell you that a guy has a deficit in a specific area, right? Because it has to do with a specific sequence. We're making believe that Pereira doesn't have guard work, that he doesn't have reversals, that he can't go to his back, that he doesn't know umapalatas and triangles and guillotine chokes. I mean, we're imagining that. Likely a pretty good guess, but we are still imagining that. We haven't actually seen it. That hasn't actually been tested. There was a sequence where the way he chose to deal with it was to go to knee grappling. They call it a turtle position. I find myself, I have to buy into some of these weird terms, like, right, as soon as the announcer say it on TV, it's called a turtle position, right? Yeah, okay, fine. He's on his knees. It's the referee's position, but we'll call it turtle. His way of electing to deal with the proposition that he was in right now and negotiating that situation was to go to his knees and stand up to his feet. Perhaps it looked sloppy in doing it, but it was the only thing that he tried. He didn't have 2 and 3 and 4 other options that got exhausted and got shut down, and so he went to this one and had success. He attempted one thing, which was go to the turtle position, and then he wanted to get back up to his feet, which he did. And possibly look sloppy doing it. And I'm sharing with you for you to then suppose that somebody better in that position, somebody with more skill, a higher ranked belt, a more traditional grappler could have held him there. I'm just sharing with you. Look at all the things that they would have had to overcome first. And in the final analysis, if you're right and your guy could have had good moments in that position or longer moments in innings, how many do you think he can have? Because we're on the clock. He doesn't get Xfinity good minutes here. He doesn't get to hold him down forever. He's got a 5-minute frame. The referee's going to bring him right back up. So how sure are you really that this is the worst ever? How sure are you really that those other champions could have beat him? And which champion is it that you think had the grappling power to get him down in the first place? I mean, what champion do you think? If this is the worst ever, then we're already putting him in the category of only champions. We're not going through the field. We're not going through the roster. We're just going to look at other champions. What champion at middleweight, wrestling and grappling, was so dominant that you know he could take Pereira down? He could keep him there and or finish him or be able to do it for the better part of 5 rounds. Rockhold was champion. Do you think Rockhold just comes down and takes him down? Bisping was champion. Does Bisping just come out and take him down? Anderson Silva was champion. Does he just come out and take him down? If so, and he keeps him there. Robert Whittaker was champion. Do you think he just comes out and takes him down? I mean, I'll play this game with you all day. I'm not trying to juxtapose Pereira against some of your heroes. I'm just asking you, which hero is it that you're so sure could walk in there and handle Pereira, that makes Pereira the worst? That means he has the least amount of skills? Seems like a very bold statement to make. And it seems like you have very little evidence to be making that statement.